Good afternoon, ladies and gents. Welcome to another video brought to you by Total Control Traders. Let's get right into it today. No delay. I feel like we've done enough marketing for our trading group, so let's get right into it. First one, SPX. Hey, the market is looking pretty darn sexy now. Hope you guys are ready for that reversal. Let's see what's going on here. So remember that 4-hour upper trend line that we talked about? Yeah, that's been broken. So if you look at this chart, 4-hour lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then lower high. And this most recent one on Friday, lower low, dip was bought, new lows, no follow through. And what we're seeing now is a 4-hour higher high, a little bit of a stall. Ideally, what I want to see overnight tonight is a little bit of sideways action going into tomorrow and the early confirmation before coming back to set a higher low. Now, the good sign about this right now is that 1 hour. Look at this, okay? Multiple rejections. Technically there's one close above before immediate sell-off, so that's a red flag. And now the new lows, immediate buy up. That is amazing, and the complete opposite of immediate sell-off, of course. This is a good sign for the bulls. And from what we're seeing here now today is we saw a very nice bull break above that trend line with an immediate back test. Watch where that wick is coming in from, followed by dip buying straight into new highs. And right now we are seeing an hourly bull flag, but 4 hours is going to need a little bit more time because we are a little bit extended on the 4 hours. Now, we're not out of the water yet. Ultimately, even though we got the 4-hour trend reversal confirmation, the reason why I say we're not out of the water is let's take a look at the rest of the indexes. SPX is, I can't remember if it's the second or the third strongest, but regardless, the strongest is DOW. Look at DOW. 4-hour, very much confirmed trend reversal. Daily, about to get that trend reversal. Chart is looking amazing on DOW, meaning there's likely a sector rotation from, I would say probably the weakest sector, NAS. And let's take a look at that. 4 hours, still not getting that trend reversal, still rejecting from that upper trend line, that short-term upper trend line. And we're going to need to see a break above this for that confirmation. As for us, we are seeing that slight, almost 4-hour reversal. But ultimately, we did see a break over this short-term upper trend line. And we're going to need to see, ideally, maybe an immediate back test. On the hourly, we already got the back test, so we're going to have to see whether there's going to be follow through. Ultimately, right now, same idea. It is in an hourly bull flag. Now, the main concern is still VIX. VIX is still remaining up in above that daily 8. Huge bull move on Friday, and today, minor pullback, 11%. Yeah, maybe I wouldn't call that minor, but regardless, we are still trading over that daily 8, so there is still that concern hanging above us. As for US dollars, no concerns. We are still seeing some rejections from this upper trend line of this long-term channel. US 10 years, bear break, a little bit of bounce today. Head and shoulders, seeing no follow through yet. As for gold, still hovering above there, above that key support. And we are seeing a bear break of this trend line with immediate back test. Let's see if there's going to be follow through on gold. So overall, my thoughts on the market is because this 4-hour key trend line that we're watching, we saw a very nice confirmed bull break. Next thing to watch is going to be that follow through followed by a 4-hour higher low. That will be our addition. Now, our bull positions, we are, I believe, majority green now. So let's see what happens going here. We're going to need that follow through tomorrow. My thoughts for the rest of the market is upon the follow through, we will be looking for additions and looking back at that previous high. But before then, let's take a look at where the GP lies. So if we're to draw a daily fib from the high to the low of this pullback, now there is a potential for this being an ABC. So A being the low of Friday, and we're going to see potentially a bounce before another pullback, because ultimately, if we're looking at this is just a 1 to 1.272 extension target that we have reached, but no real confluence zone over there. But if we're to watch, let's see where we're going to be bouncing from. GP, wow, look how amazingly that lines up, hey? GP lines up with this upper end of the key zone that we were looking at before, where it was support, and then became rejection on this this consolidation, this most recent consolidation, rejection over here. So that key zone lining up with the GP 4648.2 would anticipate a bounce to roughly around there before seeing a reaction, what that looks like, potentially coming back down to form an ABC pattern. So regardless, as of right now, we are still in somewhat choppy market. This is still just a bounce until that confirmation tomorrow. All right, let's get into the hottest stickers. First one we're going to look at, actually, we missed the weekend. So let's take a look at Bitcoin first. Bitcoin bear break, huge bear break. We did take a look at this in our weekly stock pick video. Nice bounce from that key zone, seeing a little bit of follow through. Okay, so this was a GP downward. We already lost that. So as of right now, the 0.382 lines up with that daily 8. We saw a slight bounce on this trend line, so we could be expecting a bounce up to this daily 8 alongside that trend line, as well as a 0.382 before some sort of reaction happens. Bitcoin, as of right now, still bearish. We are trading under that daily 8. Next is Tesla. Tesla, remember, I don't know how many of you remember that some of you were looking at this potential trend line from back here, but we discussed how this is likely not the lower trend line, and we will see a lower trend line form going forward. And as of today's bounce, today's new low on the daily, I do anticipate that this is probably going to be the new low forming that lower trend line now. So this is going to be a dragged out wedge if that is the case. Regardless, we are still a little bit extended on the daily, meaning there is still room to move upwards towards that upper trend line. So even if you look for a bounce play, there is still some decent room to move on Tesla. Just keep in mind there's potential for this long-term dragged out descending wedge. Next is Apple. Hottest stickers, there's going to be a few. Apple remaining in blue sky breakout mode. Is this all-time high close? The highest close was 165.30 before. Today is 165.32 by 2 cents. So closing at the new highs by 2 cents. And there is no red flag yet on this chart. We saw a bull break into blue sky, immediate back test, and continuation. As long as this daily 8 holds, there is no significant red flag coming. If we lose the daily 8, then I would anticipate potentially coming back to back test for that real back test before another leg up. But what I could see this chart doing from here is a little bit more upwards before coming back down to this confluence area of this upper trend line, as well as the short-term lower trend line before another leg move up. So that is a potential there. As of today, our New Year's present have hit 100%, and now it is a free ride. From there, we'll probably be holding on to that option call as long as we don't lose that daily 8. So we do draw a GP. I'm trying to see if there's a confluence zone over here. Give me 1 sec, guys. Not really, hey? Okay. So there is a potential we're going to come over here. That it doesn't really line up with anything. So with that being said, I would anticipate a little bit further upside to come, dragging this fib a little bit higher, more so towards the 0.5. So the high can be somewhere around 174. Let's see if that lines up with anything here. The fib extension, low to the lower high to the higher low. That somewhat makes sense. So we already have that drawn. So let's see how that works out. Apple is going to remain on top watch for quite some time. It is in blue skies. No significant red flag. No reason for selling. At least not right now. All right, next one is Lucid. So Lucid called this out in the trading chat group today that we were looking for a dip being bought, and the dip was completely bought with that gap immediately filled. Look at this, we opened right at the 0.5, right at the previous resistance, right at the previous support. There was no reason whatsoever to not buy this dip, and Lucid opened up, slight dip down as the market did, and then immediately bought up relative strength all the way throughout the day. If you look at this, there's ever since the buy up, there's been a 15-minute 8 hold, bounce from the 15-minute 8, hold again here before coming back down towards that end of day. Lucid remaining extremely strong. If this is the daily high or low from here, 0.5, this is gonna be one hell of a strong chart to keep an eye on going forward. So tomorrow, let's see if we get that follow through, trading towards that daily 8, maybe even close above it. Lucid is gonna remain on top watch. Next one is BA. BA, looking at so got a notification today on the break above this high of 202. I think I set my notification around 200, but on the break of 200, got a notification, started keeping an eye on it, and upon the break of this 202.54, the anticipation was for a gap fill. So the gap is at 206.87. Essentially, the high of day was 206.42, so we did not get that gap fill yet. Tomorrow, we'll be looking for continuation for that gap fill, but ultimately, for those of you that remember, Boeing is one of those charts that loves to do breakout fake out before a breakdown fake out before the actual move. So if we're looking at back here, I clearly remember that we had this wedge drawn differently before, and this was a breakout, slight breakout fake out before a breakdown fake out and the actual move. And there's one other one somewhere, I can't remember. This might make sense. Breakdown fake out, yeah, because so there's a clear support over here. So if we were to look at this chart over here, clear support over here, double bottom, and then breakdown fake out before the actual move. So very similar idea, and this is what we're looking at now. Longer term wedge, very much longer term sideways action, breakdown fake out. We're gonna be watching, same idea, watching for that break above that key trend line. Speaking of, gonna set an alert over here. So there's going to be a double alert on this. One I have right now is set over here. This is potential daily trend reversal, but Boeing is going to be keeping on top watch. The next one is Amazon. So Amazon really like the chart now from where we are comparing to before. So we were seeing all-time high, almost double top rejection, coming back down, but ultimately this is still a daily higher low. Okay, daily double bottom, lower high, higher low, higher high, and then now it's a higher low, and we are seeing a bounce, holding of that GP, holding of those both double trend lines, confluence area. And tomorrow we're going to need to see that follow through, trading above that daily 8 for the most ideal, and we'll be looking to add to this position. Amazon finally long awaited, and this is, remember, this is a long-term pattern that we're looking at. Breakdown fake out, breakout fake out, GP hold, double bottom at the GP, and we're looking at a breakout to new all-time high relatively soon, as this chart gets going. It is in an daily uptrend now, so the chart is looking great. Next one is, what do we have? Zelos, one of our weekend stock pick videos. We did see that new high today. We did break into new high and close higher than yesterday or Friday. And the chart is looking pretty good for continuation, but until this 63.50 15 is broken, I don't really trust it. So I was looking at a back test of this high at 58.36. Today we got to 58.17. That was the short-term entry. What an amazing backtest, immediate backtest. So this was a breakout, immediate backtest, and we saw continuation so far. What I don't like about the chart is, however, yesterday, Friday, huge bull volume. Today, not so much of a follow through so far. So in that sense, I would rather see a break above this previous support, immediate backtest right over here at about 63.15. But we'll be on one of the watches. The other one, PTON relative weakness, potential reversal candle today at the bottom, spinning candle. But based on what the market has done today and based on what the chart is doing, it is relatively weak. So we'll not be keeping an eye on this any longer until a break above that original plan of 46.54. And the next one is going to be DOW. So we really got to talk about. So we did talk about the DOW, the US 30, whatever you want to call it. DOW is showing relative strength, but let's just take a closer look at it, and that's why I put it on to the ticker. DOW, if you look at the 4-hour chart, it did get to that, what is this one? 1 to 2 extension, okay? So if we look at the 8-hour chart, the lower high, the lower low, and then the lower high. That extension, 1 to 2 extension target, we went past it and we started bouncing from it. And the chart is so strong. It's a first chart to see signs of 4-hour 8 holding. Sector rotation, DOW. Make sure you keep an eye on these 30 names on DOW. AXP, American Express today. Yeah, I thought it was one of the strongest. WBA is the strongest today. BA, Intel Corp, Visa. Anyways, this is Googleable, so make sure you pull up the list. Pick out a few tickers that might interest you. But DOW is one of the, or it is the strongest index of the 4 indexes. New daily higher high. This daily? No, 8 hours. Okay, yeah. So new 8-hour higher high. We're gonna be watching for that higher low where it comes in at. The other one, last but not least, gonna keep today's video a little bit shorter, is Ford. Look at this chart. Now ultimately the daily is no longer in the bull flag formation. Today is somewhat of a relative weakness, but you look at this weekly chart, upper trend line, short-term uptrend line, bull break, and you see what happens on this bull break. 51% plus of follow through. Ford, amazing bull momentum. Look at this chart, just continues. Every time it bounces higher, stronger, and more. Right now, it is in a weekly bull flag formation. We're going to watch for the reaction around that weekly 8. Right now, sitting at 1845 for that weekly 8. Price is at 1897, so relatively close to it. We are trading under the daily 8. There is no significant bear volume as of yet. Bulls really trying to hold that support of 1897. All right, so that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoy the content. If you know anyone who can benefit from the content we share, please make sure to share our channel with them. Again, thank you for watching. I hope you guys are staying safe. Get ready for that market reversal relatively soon. I will see you guys in the next video.